Steve Harvey's polished loafers scraped against the cracked Chicago pavement, his heart slamming like a bass drop in a silent club. There, under the shadow of a flickering street lamp, sat Marcus, his boyhood partner in every scraped knee and stolen candy run from the Southside projects. 20 years vanished in a blink, but Marcus's eyes, hollowed by endless nights, drilled right back. Steve froze mid-stride, the winter wind slicing through his cashmere coat. Crowds blurred past, oblivious, but memories crashed in. Summer block parties where they'd plot escapes from their dead-end block, Marcus's laugh cutting sharper than any blade. Now, cardboard shielded Marcus from the slush, his fingers blackened from endless digs through trash bins. Steve's mind raced, pity, guilt, or the raw fear that one wrong choice had swapped their worlds. Hey, if this frozen moment has you hooked, smash that subscribe button right now, share this with a friend who needs a reality check, and drop a comment below telling me where you're watching from. Chicago streets, LA couch, or somewhere wild. Steve approached slow, like circling a stray dog that might bolt. Marcus? That you under all that grit? His voice low, testing the waters. Marcus's head snapped up, recognition flickering like a faulty bulb. Steve! Man, no way. The king himself slumming it? A cracked grin split his beard, but his eyes darted, hungry for the angle. They locked gazes, the city hum fading to a tense whisper. Steve crouched, breath fogging the air. What happened, brother? We were gonna own this town. Marcus shrugged, voice gravel rough. Life's a rigged game, Steve. You dodged the pitfalls. I dove in head first. No sob story, just flat truth. Steve felt the pull, the old loyalty warring with the spotlight life he'd clawed for. Handing cash, that was easy charity, gone by dawn. No, this demanded something sharper. Flashback hit Steve like icy rain. 1980s projects, them 12, Marcus boosting bikes for quick cash, while Steve dreamed bigger. Comedy stages, not corners. One night, Marcus took a shortcut, vanished for weeks. Steve hustled solo, grinding open mics till fame cracked the door. Had he left Marcus behind, or had Marcus chosen the fade? Steve stood, mind churning. Get up! We're not doing this here. Marcus eyed him wary. What, photo op for the gram? Steve's laugh barked short. Nah, real talk, follow. They weaved through the loop's neon chaos, Steve's security trailing discreet. Tension coiled tighter, Marcus's limp from old injuries, Steve's pulse thumping with unspoken debts. Inside a dimly lit diner off Michigan Avenue, steam rose from greasy plates. No cameras, just them. Marcus shoveled eggs, ravenous. You look good, Steve. Family man, shows the works. Steve leaned in, voice steel. And you? Still chasing ghosts? Marcus paused, fork hovering. Tried jobs, factory shut, bills piled, streets don't judge. Lie hung heavy. Steve smelled it, they'd shared everything once. Secrets too. Steve's phone buzzed, event prep, but he ignored. Remember that promise? Ride or die. Marcus nodded slow. Yeah, till you blew up. Sting landed. Steve pressed. I'm offering a ride out, but not handouts. My production company's hiring grips, entry level but steady. You show, you work. Fail, you're on your own. Marcus's eyes narrowed. Shock rippled. No pity party, no free pass. Why now? Marcus rasped. Steve's jaw tightened. Because seeing you there, it's my ghost too. We both gambled. I won. Your turn. Silence stretched, thick as fog. Marcus pushed the plate away. What's the catch? Steve smiled, faint, chilling. The shock? I film it raw. For my next special. Your story, unfiltered. America sees the climb or the crash. Marcus recoiled, chair scraping. Exploit me? After all this? Tension peaked, diner clock ticking like a bomb. Steve held steady. Not exploit, expose, truth sells. You get paid, trained, a shot, or stay invisible. Marcus's fists clenched, knuckles whitening. Memories flooded him now, their kid dreams crushed under adult weights. Betrayal or brutal honesty? Outside, snow swirled harder. Marcus stood tall for the first time. Deal, but if I rise, you're buying the victory lap. Steve clasped his hand, grip iron. Count on it. They parted into the night, Steve's limo waiting, Marcus vanishing toward the L tracks, but doubt gnawed. Would Marcus show or slip back to shadows? Days blurred. Steve prepped his Chicago gala, mind split, rehearsals dragged, jokes landed flat. Security reported Marcus spotted at a shelter inquiring about gigs, progress or stall. Tension built. Steve's wife Marjorie texted concern. You okay, babe? Distant. He dodged, the what-if gnawing deeper. Gala night, spotlight gold, celebs glittering. Steve scanned the crowd mid-monologue, heart skipping, back row. Marcus, suit ill-fit but clean, eyes locked. No grin, just resolve. Steve ad-libbed, voice dropping. Tonight, shout out to old ghosts who remind us paths fork, but bridges burn slow, crowd murmured. Marcus nodded once, gone by curtain. Backstage, handshake firm. First call tomorrow, don't ghost me. Marcus smirked. Never again. Shock settled. Not the handout world expected, but a mirror. Steve forced Marcus to face the grind, filming every raw step. Viewers later gasped, not at pity, but the unvarnished duel with self. Weeks on, Marcus gripped lights on set, sweat real, banter sharp. Steve watched from director's chair, tension easing to quiet pride. No fairy tale, just two Southside survivors rewriting the script, one hard choice at a time. But whispers spread. Marcus held a grudge from youth, a hustled deal gone sour. Had Steve known? The footage captured it all. Late-night confessions, Marcus admitting he'd sabotaged Steve's early gig for a rival's cut. Thought it'd even us, Steve's response. Then earn it back, every frame. The special dropped viral. Views exploded, not from tears, but the edge. Could Marcus hack it? Comments flooded. Realist comeback ever. Steve smiled, private. Shock delivered. Redemption demanded teeth. If this tale of grit and gambles gripped you, hit subscribe for more raw stories, share with someone grinding their own path, and comment your city's toughest street below. Word count approx. 1020. Steve's eyes narrowed as he leaned against the chipped brick wall of that Cleveland alley, the summer humidity clinging like a bad memory. Jamal stood there, shoulders hunched under a threadbare jacket, his once sharp gaze dulled by years of hard turns. Man, it's been 25 years, Steve said, voice low, cutting through the distant hum of traffic. You remember that corner store hustle? We'd flip candy bars for quarters, dreaming big. Jamal nodded slowly, a flicker of recognition breaking through the fog. He wiped sweat from his brow with a sleeve that had seen better decades. Yeah, Stevie, you made it out. Me? Streets got greedy. His words hung heavy, laced with the weight of missed shots and bad breaks. No pity party, just facts, raw as the asphalt under their feet. Steve didn't flinch. He pulled a crumpled 20 from his pocket, not handing it over, but slapping it against his palm like a challenge. This ain't charity, Jay. You know me. We gamble back then. Double or nothing. You take this, buy a meal, but tomorrow you meet me at the old rec center at dawn. We run drills like high school. First to the track, loser owes a favor. Jamal's laugh was bitter, short. Drills? At my age? Streets don't run laps, Steve. But his eyes locked on the bill, hunger sharpening the edges. The alley pulsed with evening shadows, stretching long, horns blaring from Euclid Avenue like impatient ghosts. Steve stepped closer, the scent of rain-soaked concrete mixing with Jamal's unwashed grit. Exactly. Streets win if you quit moving. 1 week, you show. We build something real. No handouts. Your sweat or nothing. The night deepened as Jamal pocketed the cash, fingers trembling just enough to betray the spark reigniting. Dawn cracked grey over the city, the rec centre's chain-link fence rattling in the wind off Lake Erie. Steve was there first, track shoes laced, breath steady despite the years. Jamal stumbled in 10 minutes late, chest heaving, clothes reeking of a night under the bridge. "Thought you'd bail," Steve grunted, tossing him a water bottle. Almost did. Jamal gulped it down, eyes scanning the empty bleachers. No crowd, no fanfare, just two men, ghosts of glory days, pounding pavement. Lap one, Jamal lagged, legs protesting every stride. Steve matched pace, not leading, pushing with words like jabs. "Feel that burn? That's alive, Jay. Streets numb you out." Lap 5, Jamal surged, pride kicking in, sweat pouring in rivers. They collapsed at the finish, gasping, the sun burning away the mist. Days blurred into a rhythm of grind. Mornings at the track, afternoons at Steve's old barbershop contact, Jamal sweeping floors for pocket change, no free rides. "Learn the clippers," Steve said one humid afternoon, handing over the shears. Jamal's hands shook on the first cut, nicking faux skin on a mannequin. "Ruined enough already," he muttered. But he practiced. Nights they talked real. Jamal's factory layoff, the divorce that gutted him, choices that snowballed into this abyss. Tension coiled tighter midweek. Jamal vanished for a day, showing up hollow-eyed, breath sour. Old crew offered easy cash, delivery run. Steve's jaw tightened, the alley memory flashing. "And you bite." Jamal shook his head. "Nah, your drills got me thinking. Gambled on me instead." Steve nodded once, hard, no lecture, just another lap. By week's end, the rec center buzzed faint, locals whispering about the comedian drilling a street vet. Jamal's form sharpened, clippers steady now. Steve watched him fade a fresh cut on a skeptical customer, the chair creaking under new weight. "Not bad," the guy said, tipping extra. Jamal pocketed it, eyes meeting Steve's across the shop. No hugs, no speeches. Just a nod. But the shock hit Saturday night, under neon flicker of a corner diner. Jamal slid into the booth, sliding a wad of bills, his first full week's earnings. "Your cut, partner. 50-50 on the drills." Steve stared, then pushed it back. "Keep it." But here's the real gamble. He pulled out lease papers for a pop-up barber stand at the market. "Your name on it, my backing, but you run it. Miss a payment, it's gone. Streets, call again." Jamal's fingers hovered, pulse visible in his neck. The diner hummed, forks clinking, laughter from a nearby table slicing the air. "Why, you could have just wired cash." Steve leaned in, voice gravel. "Wire don't build bones, Jay. This does. You fall, it's on you. Rise, we both win." Jamal signed, ink smudging under shaky grip. The weight shifted, not gone, but balanced. Months ground on. The stand thrived in Cleveland's market bustle, Jamal's chair drawing lines, word of mouth from track survivors. Steve dropped by unannounced, testing with a fade. "Sharper than mine," he admitted, tipping his hat. No fanfare. Jamal's eyes held steady now, streets a shadow, not a chain. Yet cracks lingered. One icy dawn, Jamal called Steve at 4 a.m. Bad night. Dreams hit hard. Steve drove over, found him pacing the stand's back alley. "Breathe, drills tomorrow." No therapy, no fix, just motion. Jamal nodded, fists unclenching. The true twist unfolded at a quiet Harvey family barbecue, smoke rising from the grill in Steve's backyard. Jamal arrived clean-shaven, collared shirt crisp. Kids stared, then swarmed for stories. Uncle Jay ran faster than Dad, one giggled. Steve watched from the porch, Marjorie squeezing his arm. "You gambled big." He shrugged. He matched it. As dusk settled, Jamal pulled Steve aside. "Oh, you!" Steve waved it off. "Pay forward. Spot the next ghost." Jamal grinned, first real one in decades. The grill popped, stars pricking the Ohio sky. Their paths diverged but intertwined. Jamal's stand expanding to a shop, Steve name-dropping in monologues, grit woven into laughs, no fairy tale, just two men who bet against the pull of the streets, winning inch by punishing inch. If this raw reunion and risky redemption hooked you deep, smash subscribe for more unfiltered tales. Share with a fighter in your circle, and drop in comments. What's the boldest second chance you've witnessed? Steve's eyes locked on Marcus's hollow gaze under the flickering street lamp, the humid Atlanta night pressing in like a bad memory. Rain-slicked pavement mirrored the neon buzz from a distant diner, and the air hung heavy with exhaust and unspoken regrets. Marcus clutched a tattered jacket, his once sharp features blurred by years of hard miles, faded tattoos peeking from frayed cuffs, a limp that whispered old battles. "Steve, man, is that you?" Marcus's voice cracked, gravelly from disuse, stepping forward as if the sidewalk might swallow him otherwise. Steve froze mid-stride, his polished loafers rooted. Flashback hit like a gut punch. Two kids dodging cops in Cleveland projects, sharing stolen comic books under a sagging porch. Marcus, the quick one, always plotting the next hustle. Now this, curled against a dumpster like yesterday's trash. Steve's jaw tightened. Pity? No. This demanded something sharper. "Yeah, it's me." Steve's tone sliced clean. No warmth. He scanned the alley, empty bottles rolling in the wind, shadows twisting. "What the hell happened to you?" Marcus laughed, bitter and short, pushed off the wall. "Life, brother. Lost the gig at the plant. Wife bounced. Kids scattered. You know how it rolls." He shrugged, but his eyes darted, hungry for the easy out. Steve didn't flinch, didn't pull out the wallet like every celebrity sob story. Instead, he stepped closer, voice dropping low. "Nah, I don't know, 'cause I fought through worse. You think this is rock bottom? This is you choosing the gutter." The words landed like slaps, precise. Marcus recoiled, fists balling. "You judging me now, Mr. TV star?" Marcus spat, but his stance wavered, vulnerable under the bravado. Steve's mind raced. Handouts fixed nothing. He'd seen it chew up friends before. Marcus needed a jolt, something to crack the numbness. "Get in the car," Steve said, nodding to the black SUV idling curbside. Driver tense, watching. Marcus blinked. "What?" "You heard. Now." Hesitation stretched taut as a wire. Marcus glanced at the endless street, then slid in. The door thunked shut, like a vault-sealing fate. Steve climbed in back, silence thick. Engine hummed south through midnight traffic, skyscrapers blurring into suburbs. Marcus fidgeted, peeking at the leather seats. "Where we going?" Voice smaller now. "My place. But listen close. This ain't charity." Steve leaned in, eyes steel. "Tomorrow, you start working for me, not some cush gig, real work. My production company's warehouse, loading trucks at dawn, no pay first week, prove you show up sober, on time. Fail, you're back out there." Marcus's face twisted, shock, rage bubbling. "Are you trippin'? I ain't your mule." Steve's laugh was cold, calculated. "Better than starving proud. Or you want the speech? God bless, here's $100. He pulled a crisp bill, let it flutter to the floor mat. Marcus stared, pride warring with desperation. The bill stayed put, blocks blurred. Marcus's breath quickened. "Why you doing this? After all this time?" "'Cause I remember the kid who swore we'd own the city. That fire's still in you. Buried, maybe. Dig it out or rot." Steve's words hung, heavy as the storm clouds massing overhead. Dawn cracked grey over the estate's manicured lawns. Marcus stumbled from guest quarters, eyes bleary but body moving. Warehouse loomed industrial, forklifts growling like beasts. Steve waited by the loading dock, arms crossed, no entourage, just him in work boots. "Clock in," Steve barked. Marcus grabbed a pallet jack, muscles screaming from first lift. Sweat beaded fast in the stifling heat. Brakes? Minimal. Steve shadowed at first, silent judge. Day 2, Marcus lagged, dropped a crate, contents scattered. "Pick it up," Steve growled. No yelling, just ice. Marcus did, grinding teeth. Whispers spread among crew. "That's the boss's old buddy? Rough." Night 3, Marcus cornered Steve in the break room. Stale coffee fumes clung. "This killing me, man. Back hurts like fire. I can't—" "You quit. You're done. No second warning." Steve's stare bored in. "Pain's your teacher now. Embrace it." Marcus slammed a fist on Formica. Cracks spidered in his resolve. But he returned next dawn. Rhythm built. Short bursts of grunt labor, longer stretches of grim focus. Weeks blurred. Dawn halls. Dusk collapses. Steve pushed harder. Assigned inventory logs. Night shifts. No praise. Just results. One midnight, rain hammered the tin roof. Marcus hunched over spreadsheets, fingers ink-stained. Steve appeared, thermos in hand. "Numbers off by 12 units. Marcus sighed, deep. "Tracked it. Vendor shorted. Here's proof." Flawless log, flagged discrepancies. Steve nodded. First crack in armor. "Good. Tomorrow you're on set. PA gig. Entry level." Marcus's head snapped up. Shock rippled. "Wait, what?" "You earned eyes on the machine. But screw up, back to pallets. Set life hit like vertigo, lights blinding, chaos scripted. Marcus shadowed producers, fetching cables, timing cues. Voice steadied, gained edge. Weeks in, he pitched a segment idea during a lull. Real talk on comebacks. "No fluff." Steve eyed him, paused. "Film it." The clip aired, raw, unpolished, views spiked, comments flooded, fighters sharing scars. Marcus on camera, voice steady. "Hit low, climb anyway." Months ground on, tension simmered, old habits clawed. One bender night, Marcus ghosted shift. Steve tracked him to a dive bar, neon bleeding into puddles. Dragged him out, no scene. "Last rope, Marcus. Snap it, you're ghost." Marcus sobbed, dry, wrenching. "I almost bailed. Scared I'd fail you." "You fail you." Steve gripped shoulder, firm. "Fight stays internal." Marcus straightened, returned fiercer, promoted junior producer, negotiated deals, voice commanding boardrooms. Scars faded. Not gone, but fuel. A year later, Atlanta streets hummed under harvest moon. Steve and Marcus strode warehouse floor. No alleys now. Crew nodded respect. Marcus paused by loading dock, city lights sprawling. "Never thought," Marcus said quiet. "You didn't save me. Made me save myself." Steve clapped back. "Knew you had it. Shocked? Nah, expected it." They walked into night equals. Legacy not in flash, but forged steel. Risky bet-paying shadows into light. If this raw reunion and redemption arc gripped you tight, hit subscribe for more cinematic gut punches, share with someone needing that fire, and comment below, from where are you watching this channel? Word count seals the loop. Stay locked for the next twist.